This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Welcome into you. I'm Rebecca Smith.
And I'm Bill Bryant. Here we are. It is Tuesday, February 2nd, and yes, it is Groundhog Day.
Now at 6 a.m., firefighters are investigating a fire that destroyed Lexington's bluegrass stockyards. They're now asking for the public's help.
A Republican upset in Iowa, and the Democratic race is a draw. I'm Marley Hall in Des Moines with all the caucus results coming up.
Here in Kentucky, Governor Matt Bevin expected to sign a bill into law that changes the state's informed consent law for abortions.
When I walked in this morning, we were at 37 degrees here in Lexington, now at 40. There's only one way you can do that. A warm front extends northbound. Here comes that warmer air just ahead of our severe weather setup. I'll have that coming up in just a few minutes.
And we'll see you in just a bit. Thank you, Micah.
The 2016 presidential race now turns to New Hampshire just a day after the Iowa caucuses.
As Marley Hall reports from Des Moines this morning, while the Republicans have a clear winner, the Democratic race has been too close to call.
The Democratic contest in Iowa remains unresolved this morning, with Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders still locked in a draw. Both candidates addressed their supporters late last night as the numbers were still being counted.
I will keep standing up for you. I will keep fighting for you.
We are going to create an economy that works for working families, not just the billionaire class.
The virtual tie means both candidates will likely leave Iowa with roughly the same number of delegates. But pundits say the results don't bode well for Sanders.
This was a must-win night for Bernie, and a tie is probably not going to cut it. He didn't turn out the quote-unquote Obama coalition as he would have hoped for.
Republican turnout here in Iowa shattered records as voters handed victory to Ted Cruz over Donald Trump.
Tonight is a victory for courageous conservatives across Iowa.
We finished second, and I want to tell you something. I'm just honored. I'm really honored.
All eyes are now on Marco Rubio, who pulled away with a third-place finish last night, only trailing Trump by 1%.
The big target is on Marco Rubio's back. It's not only going to be Cruz and Trump going after Rubio, but it's going to be these guys, Bush and Christie and Kasich.
The focus of the 2016 presidential campaign now shifts to New Hampshire, which holds the first-in-the-nation primary next week. Marley Hall, CBS News, Des Moines, Iowa.
Now, the Clinton campaign is declaring victory this morning. The Iowa caucuses also means the end for two candidates in the race, Mike Huckabee and Martin O'Malley. Both suspended their presidential bids last night. One candidate not dropping out of the race is Kentucky U.S. Senator Rand Paul. The Republican finished 5th in Iowa. That's good enough to earn him a single delegate. Speaking to his staff and supporters last night, Senator Paul said Iowa is just the beginning.
We will continue to fight. Tonight is the beginning. Liberty will live on. We fight on. Thank you for all of your support.
Senator Paul did better than former Florida Governor Jeb Bush, who a year ago seemed like a favorite for the Republican nomination.
A man is in critical condition this morning after being hit by a car on New Circle Road. Happened last night near Russell Cave. Lexington police say the man did not have the right-of-way when he was hit while crossing New Circle. He has severe injuries to the legs and head. The driver was not charged. Firefighters are still trying to figure out what caused a massive fire at bluegrass stockyards in Lexington.
And now they're asking for the public's help in doing that. WKYT's Mark Barber is live at the stockyards this morning, where crews are still on the scene. Mark?
Good morning, Bill. Investigators say they do not have any reason to think that this fire was a case of arson at this time, but they say they are still looking for anyone who might have any pictures, any video of this fire before crews got here, and they're asking them to send those medias, those pictures, those videos to their arson tip line. Investigators still do not know when or how, or rather where or how this fire started. So they're asking for your help, hoping that new pictures and video will help them figure out where it started. Saturday's massive 3-alarm fire here at the Bluegrass Stockyards destroyed the large property, killing 49 cows. The fire, which is being described as the worst the city has seen in 3 decades, then spread to 5 nearby businesses, leaving behind 10 acres of rubble. The governor and the agriculture commissioner toured the damage yesterday, saying when the stockyards are ready to rebuild, they will have their full support. But before crews can start clearing away the damage and really even start thinking about rebuilding, firefighters have to finish their investigation. Again, they're asking anyone who might have any pictures or any video of the fire on Saturday before crews got here to email them at the arson tip line, and that address is arsontips@lexingtonky.gov. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Mark, thank you. And while flames and smoke from the Bluegrass Stockyards fire could be seen for miles, those who live nearby were forced to watch in fear. Dozens of homes sit just a few yards from the stockyards. At times, Lexington firefighters say flames reached between 40 to 60 feet into the air. And despite hundreds of crews fighting the fire, people like Chad Eisen and his family said they were prepared to evacuate.
My wife, she got like her little collection of stuff that can't be replaced, you know, ready to go. So we were ready to go. Yeah, it was pretty scary.
I thought I was going to cover our whole house.
Well, Eisen's home was not damaged. Fire officials say at least 5 surrounding businesses were damaged or destroyed by the blaze.
A bill that would change Kentucky's informed consent law is headed to the governor's desk in a 33-5 vote. The state Senate gave final approval to the House-passed bill yesterday. It would allow for women seeking an abortion to consent to the procedure through real-time video conferencing. Currently, Kentucky law requires conferencing face-to-face. The ACLU of Kentucky said in a statement that Governor Bevin, quote, would be wise to veto the bill. However, a spokesman for the governor's office told our partners at the Herald Leader that he will sign it. We now know how much money last month's winter storm cost the city of Lexington. The mayor's office says the city spent almost $860,000 on snow-related costs. About 60% of that was spent on salt. They spent $150,000 on overtime. Contractors who helped the crews clear the snow from the roads cost about $175,000.
Wind advisory going to be in effect later on this afternoon, off into the overnight and into tomorrow morning. What that tells us is without any severe thunderstorms, strong thunderstorms, any thunderstorms at all, you're already looking at 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts. So it's going to be extremely windy today, even without the storms. The storms come later on this evening and off into the night. And what the winds do coming in from the south and southwest, it's pumping in that warmer air. It's 40 degrees now in Lexington. When I walked in, we were 37. We're actually getting warmer before the sun even rises. The only way we can actually do that is warmer air creeping in from the south. And here it comes. And boy, will you see temperatures jump very rapidly. We'll jump about 30 degrees. And from this morning into the afternoon, calling for temperatures right around 70. The actual record is 67. I do believe we'll actually beat that record later on this afternoon. Once we hit the evening and nighttime hours, that's when those storms move on in, and that'll take you into the overnight hours off into tomorrow morning. So this is one that's going to keep us up throughout the night with a lot of lightning and also damaging wind threat as well. Let's go hour by hour. Let me take you through that. Once we get into the afternoon, listen, I cannot rule out an isolated shower as we go through the afternoons, especially for the west. But really the severe weather threat comes throughout the night. Watch this, okay? Here's 9 p.m. and it's inching closer toward the I-65 corridor. 65, not 75. Then we get just before midnight and it's closing in on Lexington. I believe we'll start to see those storms enter Fayette County before the midnight hour actually comes through. But here come those storms just barreling on through. There's just after midnight crossing over 75, heading into the eastern zones. Southern areas, Somerset off to Monticello, I would say anywhere from about 11 p.m. to about 2 a.m. is when you can actually expect these storms to roll through. Eastern areas, you're talking about after midnight before you actually see these storms roll on through. However, it's actually good news for you because the longer we go off into the night, the better likelihood of losing a little bit of that energy. So far eastern Kentucky, you can expect, that's Prestonsburg, that's Jackson and Breathitt County, go down toward Perry County and Hazard, all those areas down toward the east and southeast. You're talking about mainly flooding and an isolated severe threat, not so much widespread like we could see I-75 and points back toward the western zones. Damaging winds, no doubt about it, will be your main player. Tornadic activity, very low, but we just can't rule that out, nor can we rule out flooding. That's going to be our main concern, is damaging winds, especially as we approach that evening and nighttime hour. Your best opportunity for severe weather is going to be 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. After that, it really does fade with those storms, but still the rain will be very heavy. So there's going to be a lot going on with this forecast. especially as we get later on into the night. So that's something to watch out for. I will, Chris Bailey, he'll be in here throughout the night, but I'm coming in and actually around midnight to keep you guys updated as we go throughout the night and into the morning
Well, I
hours.
hope you get a little nap earlier.
I'll get a nap earlier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike. It is 6:10 on WKYT. Each morning we bring you weather and traffic together. Here's Officer Don with a look at what's happening out on the roads. Good morning, Don.
Good morning. Well, it's pretty quiet right now on the Circle at least and on Manowar. Just checked it from Versailles Road all the way over to the interstate, and it's basically one cycle of the light through all the big intersections. As we get a look outside and show you traffic flow right now, you can see no problems on Winchester Road. Coming in from Mount Sterling on 64 looks good. And our drive time's in pretty good shape right now, too. With no major delays to deal with, it should be a smooth ride in from Scott County this morning, from Georgetown, also from Richmond, and looks like we're also good to go coming in from Nicholasville toward Lexington. Now back to you in the studio.
And when you get in your car, you can listen to Officer Don and Deanne over there on 98.1 The Bull. It's good to have you along with us Tuesday morning on WKYT. Right now, 6:11 in the morning.
Well, it's bad news for Kentucky's coal industry, why experts say production has slipped to its lowest level in decades in 3 minutes.
Also ahead, a look at the CDC's expanded list of countries that pregnant women should avoid, all because of the Zika virus.
Welcome back in. 6:14 is the time this morning. In parts of eastern Kentucky, the economy is directly linked to coal. That's why a new report about its declining production is troubling.
Eye-opening, certainly. We're seeing some of the lowest levels of coal production in more than 6 decades. WKYT's Mike Beyer has been looking over this new report, and he has more from our live desk. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill. Kentucky's coal production has taken a major hit, slumping to its lowest level since declining nearly 21% in 2015. You have to go all the way back to the 1950s to find a level that low. A report released Monday by the Kentucky Energy and Environment Cabinet says production fell to 61 million tons last year compared to 77 million tons in the previous year. Coal experts believe the reason for the decline, not just in Kentucky but all throughout the U.S., is due to oversupply, competition from natural gas, and tougher environmental regulations. Kentucky Coal Association President Bill Bissett says in a release the state numbers were worse than expected. Meanwhile, U.S. Senator Rand Paul recently released this following statement on the Kentucky Quarterly Coal Report. He says, quote, President Obama and his Environmental Protection Agency have been dead set on destroying Kentucky's coal industry at any and all costs, and our Commonwealth is continuing to suffer as a result, end quote. The senator released the statement after the report details a record low in coal mine employment, with just over 3,200 jobs lost in 2015 alone, a nearly 28% decrease from 2014. At the live desk, Mike Beyer, WKYT.
Mike, thank you. Today, Bill Cosby's lawyers will be asking a Pennsylvania judge to throw out the criminal case against him. Cosby admitted in a deposition that he obtained Quaaludes to give to women before sex and gave accuser Andrea Constant 3 pills before a January 2004 encounter at his home. The defense says Cosby had a deal with a former district attorney that he would not be charged if he testified in his accuser's 2005 civil lawsuit. The CDC is adding more tropical destinations to a list of countries that pregnant women should avoid because of the Zika virus outbreak. The development came as officials with the World Health Organization declared the virus an international emergency. The virus has been linked to a rare birth defect in thousands of babies, mostly in South America. The new travel warning includes Costa Rica and Nicaragua. The handlers of Pennsylvania's most famous groundhog are set to predict whether we will have an early spring-like weather situation or have to go through 6 more weeks of rough, wintry weather. Members of Punxsutawney Phil's top hat-wearing inner circle are planning to reveal their forecast at sunrise, which is just before 7:30 this morning. A German legend has it that if a furry rodent sees a shadow on February 2nd, winter will last an additional 6 weeks. If not, then spring comes early. Phil almost always sees his shadow and has only a 39% accuracy rate.
Sure is cute, though, right? The time now is 6:18 this morning. Shares of Chipotle stock spiked almost 5% on news the chain's E. coli outbreak appears to be over. The CDC has declared the restaurant chain E. coli free and is ending its investigation. Dozens of customers in several states reported getting sick after eating at Chipotle restaurants. To win back customers, Chipotle is planning deep discounts for the upcoming Super Bowl weekend. On Monday, the chain will briefly close all its restaurants for meetings with employees. Yahoo could be making some drastic cuts. The Wall Street Journal reports that the company is laying off 15% of its workforce. The fate of CEO Marissa Mayer is still unclear. The company has had a hard time competing with Google and Facebook. Well, Lumber Liquidators has agreed to pay $13 million in criminal fines for illegally trafficking wood into the U.S. from an area that serves as a habitat for endangered Siberian tigers. And last year, a 60 Minutes investigation found the hardwood flooring retailer made laminate flooring that contained dangerous amounts of toxic formaldehyde. That investigation's ongoing. Well, Pizza Hut is offering a golden opportunity this Super Bowl Sunday. The chain is sprinkling $100 worth of edible gold shavings on top of its stuffed garlic knots pizza. Pizza Hut says it's appropriate since the big game is being played in the Golden State. Customers in select cities will have the chance to win one of the 50 golden pizzas along with a $100 Pizza Hut gold card.
And the golden anniversary of the Super Bowl as well, which, by the way, you can see right here on WKYT coming up this Sunday. And WKYT this morning is just getting started. Our time right now is 6:19. A World War II veteran fights off a burglar with one well-placed shot. Why, the vet says he missed his target. It's coming up in about 6 minutes.
Then we're looking off toward the west. Here comes our severe weather threat as a big system will be barreling our direction. We're going to talk all about that, when you can expect this, coming up next.
Good morning and welcome back into WKYT this morning. It's 6:23 on your Tuesday.
Well, the numbers are in after last night's Iowa caucuses.
And that's what's trending at this hour. The race between Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders is extremely close, but the Clinton campaign is declaring victory this morning. Ted Cruz has won the Republican Iowa caucuses, narrowly beating the front-runner Donald Trump.
Investigators are looking for pictures or video before the first fire trucks arrived at Saturday's fire at Lexington's Bluegrass Stockyards. They're still trying to figure out how it started. We have information on how to reach the fire department on WKYT.com.
And now a quick check of the weather forecast. Meteorologist Micah Harris on this first alert severe weather day.
Yeah, and that severe weather threat comes later on this evening off into the night, so we still have plenty of time to actually prepare for these storms that are going to be rolling on through. Temperatures north of 64 in the 30s, but let me tell you this, when I walked in this morning, we were at 37 degrees here in Lexington. The sun has not even come up just yet, and we're already at 40 degrees. How do you do that? Well, you get a warm front moving on through, and boy, will it jump our temperatures. 70 degrees by the afternoon. If we hit 70 degrees, which I do believe we will, in most locations actually, we'll actually beat a record. And so the daylight hours look really good. Very nice daylight hour. Only a 20% chance of rain late in the afternoon. But go off into the night. That's when these storms move on through. So we're going to be watching a system back toward our west. Nothing going on right now, but this is a big system heading our direction. It's got a lot of pop to it. And we're going to talk about when you can expect these knocking on your back door coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, we're going to watch that timing carefully today. Thank you, Micah. Coming up on 6:25, and California police say a man in his 20s tried to break into a home with an axe.
But he probably wasn't expecting a World War II veteran defending his home. 92-year-old Joe Millspaw says he went around the corner of his home and saw the suspect, and that's when he fired a shot, and says the man took off running, leaving his axe behind. Millspaw says he didn't want to kill the man, just scare him off, and police say he did just that.
Shoot, I could have shot him straight in the head, right between the eyes, but I didn't want to do that.
Millspaw says he's had that gun for decades and still goes to the gun range. He's also worked as a mechanic for the Los Angeles Police Department for more than 20 years. His neighbors who helped watch over him hope that that suspect is caught. He's pretty cool for a 92-year-old.
Right, yeah, right.
Well, the players are ready for the big game, of course, on Sunday, but these competitors are more likely to score some catnip than touchdowns.
On Super Bowl Sunday, the Hallmark Channel is airing the Kitten Bowl 3. Former NFL quarterback Boomer Esiason is the Feline Football League commissioner. He says the kitten players are much easier to deal with than real players. Nearly 100 rescue kittens will fill up Hallmark's bite-size football field on that day. It's pretty exciting.
Oh, yes,
So that's
they are.
another game to keep your eye on Sunday.
Cute little feline friends.
Our time this morning is 6:26, and it's good to have you along on your Tuesday morning, Groundhog Day for 2016.
Well, he was in the right place at the right time. Coming up, how an off-duty Kentucky police officer saved a life while driving home from work.
And tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is $63 million. Wednesday night's Powerball jackpot is $112 million. We'll be right back on WKYT.